July the 23rd, 2024, is the day that I bought this wrecked Lamborghini Urus from auction from my girlfriend Hannah. You like it?
Yeah.
Nice.
How quick can you fix it?
The damage was so bad, we had to remove the engine. Look at that! Replace chassis legs. Repair the engine.
Not good news.
Without any experience on working on one of these cars ever before. And last time, we actually managed to get this car running and driving. But in this video, we need to finish this for good. Okay, so we've got everything running and driving now. Suspension's on, wheels on, and the car actually runs. So we're gonna start from the inside out. We've got an airbag to replace here and 2 airbags each side. So let's start with these curtain bags and we'll make moves. Let's get this interior done. To get to the curtain airbags, I've got to first remove this A-pillar trim. And once I've got that off, I can then access the bolt which holds part of the curtain airbag to the chassis of the car. Then it's onto these horrible clips. Best technique I've found is 2 little screwdrivers, push them into the clip and squeeze them together. Yeah! Whilst I did that side, my dad did the other. Peekaboo. To access the rest of the clips, it looks like we're going to have to remove the roof lining. That is down. Once I'd lowered the roof lining down, I can now get to all of these clips which hold the curtain airbag to the car, using the same technique with the screwdrivers to remove them. With the clips removed, I can then unclip the electrical connector which goes to the explosive part of the curtain airbag and then unbolt it from the actual car. Here's what the old one looks like, and here's what the new one looks like. Time to install the new one. It slides back into place, bolts up to the chassis of the car, the electrical connector clips back in, and then the clips just literally push back in the same places where we removed them from. Then it's back up again with the roof lining, and most of it is held in with clips. And that leaves us with one last airbag to replace. Roof lining, 2 curtain airbags in. We've left off these pillar trims because the windscreen is going to have to come out anyway, and the mirror here because the windscreen is going to have to come out anyway. Next up, this airbag, which if it's anything like an Audi, there should be 2 little things that we push in. So first step, disconnect the battery. Disconnected. I'm going to take a wild guess that you just push something in there. Yes! 1 airbag out. Let's get the new one. Here is the new one from Euro Spares. Shout out to Euro Spares again. All genuine Lamborghini stuff, of course. And the good thing about this, it comes with the electrical connections and everything on the back, because sometimes when the airbag explodes, it makes that much heat that it melts the connections in here. So you have to replace them. But good thing is we got them. Let's connect that up. Like that. Right, once this is in. We're in. There we are. 3, 2, 1. And that's all the airbags complete. But before we move on to the exterior of the car, I wanted to scan the fault codes, just to make sure we've installed them right. And also, I can see the rear seat belts have completely locked out. And although the front seat belts aren't locked out, they still could be flagging a fault code, which could bring the airbag light on the dashboard. Driver's seat belt tensioner. Oh, broken. Passenger side, rear, broken. Front passenger side, broken. I think it's exactly the same as a Rolls Royce, but this time worse. The good news is though, this isn't broken and these 2 ain't broken. So even though the front seat belts haven't locked out, they're still triggered a fault code, and the igniter must have gone off to lock the seat belts out when it was involved in a crash. And the only way to fix these faults in the belts is to remove them and change the airbag igniter, or just completely change the seat belts. First seatbelt to come out is the driver's side front, which reminded me I need to clean this interior. Luckily I have my dad for that. This is the bolt we're trying to get to. Seat was over here to get to it. Now I can remove the carpet out of the way to access that bolt just there. As we've found, anything which has been built by Audi makes it difficult for people like us to take apart. See, look, so this is the retractor. So when that blows up, it pulls the seatbelt in. So that needs to be replaced, along with the seatbelt tensioner, which is actually inside the seatbelt mechanism. So now I've got the front seatbelt out, we're now moving on to the rear seatbelts. And in true Audi fashion, we had to pretty much strip apart the whole back of the interior apart, just to access the seatbelt. All that to get that out, oh my God. But finally, they were all out. But instead of replacing them, we had other ideas.
How much is it in that box?
Well, second-hand seatbelts are £275 each.
So there's 1, 2.
It's like 1,200 quid. We're going to be sending these away to get repaired. So my dad's gave the seatbelts to Danny, they'll be shipped away, and hopefully we'll be seeing them back later. All the seatbelts are out, interior is pretty much cleaned out. Whilst we wait for the seatbelts to come back, we can move over onto the front end and start trying to put this thing together. Let's go. New wings. Now these are second-hand, and they were grey, but they are not quite the colour of the car, so I don't think we're going to get away with that. But what we said is if we can fit these to the car, take it to the body shop, paint this and then blend into the door, I think that is going to be our best option. So we'll see how we get on. Let's get these on and then we'll fit the rest. As well as the wings being damaged, the wing brackets are also damaged, so I've got a replacement for them as well. I'm going to bolt them to the chassis of the car first, and once they're on, I can then start fitting the wing to it. This is where we find out whether all the chassis work that we've done to the car is actually any good, because none of this would line up if it wasn't. The wings got bolts on the top, inside the wheel arch, and once I tighten them in, on the passenger side it actually has a washer bottle which sits inside the wing as well. So I've got to put that into place, tighten that up with one bolt, and there's one final bolt which is sort of inside the door. And that's the passenger side wing fitted, and also the driver's side. But you can clearly see the colour match here, it's pretty off. Next step, let's put the bonnet on. To put the bonnet on, we've got to replace these hinges because these are all bent. Let's do it. As we've learned throughout the years, if you're replacing a bonnet that's been damaged, you should probably replace the hinges as well, else it's always a nightmare to line the bonnet up afterwards.
It's a bit bent. That's the new one. And that's the old one. Are you happy now?
The driver's side hinge was a lot more damaged than the passenger side, but again, it's best to replace both. They then slide into place, and there's 2 bolts holding them in. But the thing is with the hinges, there's a loads of adjustment on them. But for now, we're just kind of putting them in the middle position, and then we'll adjust them once we put the bonnet in place. Here's the bonnet. The bonnet again is a second-hand one, which was from Urus spares, which is where most of the parts have come from for this car. So if you do need any Lamborghini new or used parts, make sure you go and check Urus spares out. Bonnet is on. It still needs jigging and moving around a bit. Things are loose still that we need to tighten up and get it absolutely perfect. But because of the wing is completely different colour to the door, and the bonnet is actually okay, we need to match the wing to the bonnet and the wing to the door, which requires us to kind of spray in. So we're going to go to the body shop, but before we do that, we do need to replace this windscreen. We decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get the Urus on a trailer to the body shop, and once it was there, Screensaver could change the windscreen there. They used this kind of cheese wire to remove the original windscreen, and then once they got that out, they could start prepping the area and applying the adhesive to fit the new screen. Now we couldn't find any aftermarket screens anywhere, so we had to buy a genuine Lamborghini one, which wasn't cheap, but sometimes you're left with no choice. But now that that's fitted, the guys at the body shop were prepping the panels ready for paint. They're going over both front wings and doors with some light grit sandpaper just to roughen it up before it goes into the paint booth. Once it's in the paint booth, they mask the wing and the doors up. That way we don't get any overspray on any of the panels that we don't want painted. We'll give the panels a final wipe down and clean, and then Chris is going to start applying the paint. Grey is a really difficult colour to colour match, and the best way to do this is to spray into the next panel. And once a few layers of grey are applied, it then goes over both panels with a clear coat. And now that's looking a lot better. So we can get it back to my workshop and continue the build. Seat belts.
Oh no.
No explosives.
These are all our original seat belts, but now they've been reset by the airbag team and they've got new explosive in. I've just dropped them on the floor, but Seem okay. These have got new explosive in. You see that is further out now rather than being pulled in to tighten the seatbelt. And not only that, also... Oh my.
He's like, what is he doing?
We upgraded them to orange, which was an option. We upgraded them to orange, which is going to match all the orange inside. That's going to look proper mega, that is, isn't it? Well better than black. Just got to install these back in now. And whilst I'm doing that, my dad's going to build up the door cars and we can finally get this interior done and dusted and get onto the rest of the car. Let's film. Back in with the puzzle of an interior. First in is the rear seat belts, which sit behind so many interior trims. Once they're in, we can put all the trims back. Now, onto the front seat belt. I've got to remember to connect up all the electrical connectors to the seat belt, else it will throw more fault codes at me. Then slide the seat belt in place, along with the tensioner. Then the seat belt goes up the pillar, bolts in at the top, and goes through this piece of trim, which needs a bit of a clean. Now that those belts are in, I can start building back up the rear of the car. The rear seats are so bulky and heavy. I have no idea why, but I do know that they're heated and I think cooled as well, which would explain some of the weight. But that is the rear bench in. Now for the front seats. Again, a bunch of electrical connectors for the seat, which plug in underneath it, then a cap goes over the top, and we can bolt it all down. And finally, the interior is complete. Okay, interior is in. Now we need to cross everything we've got. There's no fault codes for the airbags anymore because that was a lot of work. Please, 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 no. Please, none. I think we've got none. We have got two, which is data bus missing message and data bus error value received, which I don't know what they're for, but we've got a lot less than we did have. Yeah, we've got no more seatbelt, airbag, anything like that faults, which is good. We've just got data bus missing message and then data bus error value received, which I assume they're linked. I don't know what that means, but as long as our airbag light disappears off the dash, which I think it might have. So where's the airbag light? Airbag light there, is that yellow one? It's off. And it stayed off. I think we fixed something. I think we've actually fixed something. Yes! We've actually fixed something. Now, if you remember last time when we drove the car, the suspension was really bumpy. It's so bouncy. It was like the front suspension wasn't working at all. And if you notice, the front end is really low and the back suspension is sitting super high. But now I think I have the solution to this. This car, like the Rolls Royce, is on air suspension, and the air suspension work on those sensors on each corner of the suspension. And something tells me the front sensors are damaged or we've just not plugged them in. This sensor here is supposed to have a drop link from this plastic piece onto this rear arm. And without that drop link, that sensor isn't going to know how high or low the Urus is sitting. And if the sensor doesn't know, then the car's computer doesn't know. And that would explain why there's no air in the front left suspension. As for the right hand side, well, it looks like the sensor is completely broken. So I'm removing the sensor with the bracket as well and replacing it with one that I got on eBay for around £14. I think they're used on loads of different Audis. And this is an aftermarket one, so I hope it's going to work. Oh, it's pumping, it's pumping.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Can you hear it?
It's coming up.
Is it?
Yeah.
This works.
Level now.
And that seems like another successful job. Next step, the bane of our lives. We don't have another hydraulic strut yet, so that's our Lamborghini prop. Headlights. We could not find them anywhere with the same part number from this car, and we know now, we've learned a lesson, only buy the same part number headlights on new cars. We had to buy brand new from Lamborghini, £4,800 each, these. So you better hope they work, and you better hope they light up the whole world in front of this car, because that is just astronomical prices. the amount of headlights that we've installed on cars throughout the years, and even though it is the correct headlight for the car, it still hasn't worked. But I'm hoping now we've learnt a lesson. That looks really good. Oh, look at that. Let's test it. Moment of truth.
This has to work for 4.5 grand, surely.
Is it on?
Yes!
Yes!
It's on!
Never doubted it. Never doubted it. Look at that. Sometimes it's just worth paying the extra money to have that guarantee that it's actually going to work. Even though I still had my doubts. Now, in for the driver's side headlight. And the car's actually looking pretty good now. Both headlights working as they should. That went surprisingly well. Venturi. Now, we wasn't going to go crazy with this. We weren't going to modify this car crazy because Hannah likes stock cars, but look, we're in control right now. We're in control. And the reason we got this is actually a silly reason, to be fair. Check this out. So, this is the airbox on a Urus. That is the air filter there. Sits on top of the engine like that. And then you have some pipes connecting. We'll take these off. 2 hoses which connect that to that. That doesn't just go directly to that. We couldn't buy those hoses direct from Lamborghini for some reason. We had to buy this brand new all over again, which is over £500, which just seems stupid just to get those hoses. And then to get those hoses custom made would cost a lot because they're like oval hoses, not circle ones, so they need special tooling. So instead I thought, well, this is a chance to upgrade. And I did have a look at the Venturi kit, induction kit, and it looked like it come with those hoses, and if it doesn't, then we've just completely Uno reversed ourselves. So let's hope these hoses are inside this induction kit.
Yeah.
Yes! Which they were. We've got the hoses, that's all we needed. And alongside the hoses, there was even more. Look at that.
Oh.
That is carbon fibre and some. Do you reckon she'll know that that's not standard? I fitted these Venturi induction kits to most of my cars, and you can guarantee, 1, they look good, and 2, it adds that extra power. Right now I'm taking off the standard pipes which connect to the turbo, because on the Venturi kit, you can see they're a much wider bore. Whoa! This is going to increase the airflow into those turbos, and of course the more air we can get into them, the more power we can get out of the engine. These pipes just bolt up to the turbos like direct replacement of the OEM ones, and all the hoses connect to them as usual. Both right side turbo and left side turbo is the same. Now we can put on the hoses that we originally needed. Then I've got to go back to the original engine cover with the air filter in it, remove the stock air filter from the engine cover, and then fit the Venturi carbon intake system to it. And once I've got that bolted down each side, it's time for the air filters. These huge cone air filters, which I'm sure are going to sound amazing when this car's under load. Before we fit it all, we've got to reinstall this strut bar, tighten that down. Then we can put the engine cover along with the Venturi air filters back into the original position that is meant to fit, then secure the silicone hoses to it all. And we're almost there. I'm now installing the intake pipes, which guide the air from the outside into the airbox, and finally the carbon engine cover, which clips into place, and that's job done. That looks sick. Then the bonnet will close. The engine cover. Oh yeah, it will. This is a brand new second-hand bumper, but unfortunately we are missing a few things. We thought we could have covered ourselves by getting a used bumper, but you can see on this bumper there's a lot of things. Parking sensors, radar sensor. This is to follow the car in front for adaptive cruise control. There should be a cap over this, covering over these ugly screws and everything like that. So I have ordered that. That can go in afterwards. Then there is also a camera at the front there. But not only that, there's these modules here, which these plugs should plug into, I believe. But I believe these things are for lane change assist. And there's one on the left side and there's one on the right side. And when a car pulls by you on the motorway and it's in your blind spot, this will tell you that there is a car there, don't pull out, and it'll flash a light on the dashboard. But I don't have these, so this bumper will have to come off eventually, but we're gonna have to put it on now because the next thing requires the bumper to be on, which will all make sense. But let's plug these on now, see what it looks like, see how it lines up, and we'll go from there. This is gonna make this look like a full car now. I actually think we might be able to put in those lane change sensors without taking the bumper off. But that wasn't our problem at the minute.
Ooh.
Oh, no. The alignment was. Check back with you after adjustments. About a couple of hours later, surprisingly, I am happy with that. Look at the lines. Someone's gonna say, oh, it's not right, but I am happy with that. I can't see Hannah picking up on it as well. I think she's gonna be buzzing with this. Who wouldn't be buzzing with that? But how good is that? The Urus actually looks like a Urus now. And it's come a long way from when we picked it up. But we're far from finished there. It's about to get a little bit shouty, and Hannah doesn't know anything about this bit yet either. She doesn't know about the induction kit, and she doesn't know about this kit, which is about to go on, which has never been done before. Here we go. This is a full wide body CT carbon body kit for the Urus, and it has never been fitted to a Urus ever before. We're about to fit it to Hannah's. Hopefully she likes it, hopefully it fits. Let's start with the hardest part first, we think, the back. Okay, this is about to get pretty crazy, but it wouldn't be a Urus I've rebuilt if it looked the same as every other Urus on the road. First off is a rear diffuser. And then the lower part of the bumper. 3, 2, 1. Yes! And now, on goes the carbon diffuser. As I mentioned, this kit has never been fitted to a Urus before, so we're the guinea pigs for it. But so far, everything's lining up. And it's using all the original bolt holes and screws that the OEM diffuser used. And it actually looks pretty good. This new kit has 2 spoilers. One replaces this spoiler, one we'll get onto. But this is gonna go in replacement of this. So we're gonna get this off first. Let's do it. First thing we need to do is remove the old spoiler. I dread to think how much that spoiler costs, but it's okay because we won't be using it. Now, it's on with the CT carbon spoiler, with a bit of Mansory glue to hold it down. Well, we've just added 80 kilos of downforce, but we need more downforce. Yep, more downforce. There's a second wing. Again, we're using our signature Mansory glue. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. We're applying the Tiger Seal to all the mating points on the spoiler, and then this just sits on top of the old spoiler. And in my opinion, it actually suits the car. This is where it gets interesting. The back is done, it looks really good, but this is a wide body kit, which means it makes the body wider. 30 millimeters wider to be precise. And this is gonna go like here, like that. And that is pretty wide. And then this is gonna go like that, on like that, and then so on, all the way down the car. It is gonna be a wide Urus. Let's get this bit fitted and we'll see how we go. But this bit is vital now, because if we stick this on wrong, then we have a big problem. The Urus already uses some kind of arch extensions, and this kit simply just sticks over them. So in theory, it should be quite easy to fit. We're adding our signature Mansory glue to hold it on, which should be good enough. And once that's applied, we just need to make sure that I put this in the correct position. Then, onto the next piece. Slam it, come here. Ooh. I'm just gonna hold it down with a bit of masking tape for now whilst the glue sets. Then I'm gonna apply the glue to the next piece of the kit and stick that down in the position where I think it should go. But so far, this kit is actually pretty easy to fit. Then, moving down to the door. I've gotta make sure this is perfect, else the door won't open and close. Door opens, door closes. Fat. That is well fat, innit?
That looks mint.
Oh, she's been squatting. She's been squatting.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Now, moving on to the side skirts. It wouldn't be a wide body car if all of it wasn't wider. Boom! Side skirt. These again just glue on to the body panel. It's a simple thing, but it can completely change the look of the car.
What about the one on the left?
That one.
Cold brew coffee.
Yeah,
Let's have a coffee one. Let's have a coffee
I don't
one.
like coffee.
Well,
I'll have a banana one
Do you know
then.
what? I never had the coffee Y food, but
You've never had the coffee water?
no, because I never thought like cold coffee would be nice. But now, like, I drink cold coffee a lot of the time. I don't know why I never tried this. If you know what Y food is, it is a meal replacement drink. It's not an energy drink. It's not a protein shake. It's not a diet drink. It literally just replaces one of your meals throughout the day. So if you're constantly like me on the go, and you ain't got time to grab yourself something healthy or cook, this is like a perfect meal replacement. 34 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, no added sugar. Coffee is going to be a strange one for me, cold, but I don't know. That's actually banging.
I hate banana, but it's actually really nice.
That's worrying. I've been drinking Y food for years now. And like I said, it is the perfect meal replacement drink. It's got all the vitamins and minerals that you need in a meal, but inside a milkshake. Now I've got to put this on. Although this isn't painted, it doesn't matter because we're sticking the wide body kit over the top of this. Now in each one of the Y food bottles, there is 500 calories, which is lactose free, gluten free, there's no added sugar in them, and it's enough to keep you full up to your next meal. It's perfect for situations like this, where we want to get the body kit fitted, but we don't want to stop for food. Yo, so boom! Now I've got the right side of the body kit on, and I know how it fits. I can completely blast out the fitting of the left side of the body kit. And it was really easy. Let's spin it round and do the front. The good thing about Y food is that it's hard to get bored of, because there's loads of different flavours to choose from. And you can try Y food today with the link in the description box below, and that's going to get you a taster pack with a discount as well, because the discount code which is on the screen right now, and you can find your favourite flavour and tell me you're going to be feeling a lot healthier than having that fast food at lunchtime. And now we're on to the last piece of the kit, the front splitter. What a transformation that is. Look at this. I'm actually jealous of Hannah right now, because I almost want her not to like the car, because I really like this car and it's definitely like a bit of me now. 1 of 1 Urus now. This kit's never been fitted to a Urus at all. There's a discount code for CT Carbon on the screen if you need to get any carbon. But this car right now is almost there, and the last bits always take the longest. They always do. But sometimes you have to slow down to look at how far this car's come. It's turning out to be an amazing looking car. And then to be able to give this car to Hannah at the end of this build, who has been with me throughout this whole journey from the very start and supported me through it all, is the very least I could do. These are the last faults that we've got. I've just scanned it. All these remaining fault codes are now just related to those sensors that we're missing off the front bumper, and the camera and the radar sensor that need to be coded to the car. Other than that, I think we're just about ready. The good news is that it made it here. The bad news is that the wheels are absolutely killing the vibe. Look at that, you can barely see them.
Can't see the wheels.
No, so before we show this to Hannah, we need to sort these wheels out. And we're back. A wheel mania. Again. You guys already know that I come here for all my wheels and tyres, but I'm hoping this time they can solve the wheel fitment on the Urus. Hannah's already told us that she likes the stock wheels, so we didn't want to stray too far from them, and I'm sure Wheel Mania are going to come through with these ones.
So Mr. Mansouri asked if you could come, so here he is.
I love Wheelmania wheels.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a true fact. But here are the wheels. Oh yeah. And this is what she's gonna like. The HS. That's the thing. We wanted to keep them stock looking because we knew she liked the stock wheels, so we didn't want to disappoint her in not having stock wheels. But now we've got more aggressive offset.
We've had like subtle detailing, so there's detailing such this that's not on the original
Oh,
wheel.
nice.
We've hidden the original bolts. I gave it like a
Oh
centre
yeah,
lock cord.
that's sick. Yeah, I like that.
It's little details like that. I think it makes
Oh
it
yeah,
more
that's
aggressive
wicked.
looking.
The centre cap literally covers over the bolts. That's well good. Right, let's see how these fit, and hopefully now it's not going to look like that when it's like underneath those big arches. I think she's going to love them. They still keep that kind of stock look, but we're hoping now the fitment's going to be a lot better. With the added little touches as well, of course. And that is it. The wheels are fitted. It looks really good. Absolutely sick. But again, yeah, thanks to Wheelmania for topping off the build, topping off the look. It's always the wheels that matter, and these guys always come through. But there is one last thing we need to do with this car. We've got the check engine light on the dashboard, so this car's in like a soft limp mode, so we don't get full power, and that's because it's got the new exhaust system on. So to combine the exhaust system with the car, we need to tune it so that the car knows it has a performance exhaust on. And we've come to the perfect place to do so, Mallory Performance. Let's see what this car can make. So this is the moment now where we find out whether all the work that we've done to the engine, to the front end, to the radiators is all okay, because the car's about to be pushed to the limit. High speeds, high revs, high temperatures. I hope this all goes well. And I'm actually quite scared for Hannah. She's gonna have a really, really fast car, and she's in that room there. She hasn't seen the car yet, but she's about to hear it. First, for the stock run. But we don't think it's even gonna make the stock power because of that limp mode issue. First step, stock run. We don't know where it's gonna go. It's meant to be 640, but we're in limp mode. Here we go, stock run. It's a loud boy. Oh, lower. 157 mile an hour. In 5th gear. Okay, stock figures. What we're going to get, we don't know whether we're in a soft limp or not. This is Hannah's daily car. And it sounds like that.
From a Land Rover.
Yeah.
3 litre Land Rover.
Yeah, literally a 3 litre diesel Land Rover to a 4 litre twin turbo
my
V8.
God.
And the results are in at 534 horsepower. Around 100 horsepower off what it actually should be. So we're definitely in a limp mode. Right, Phil's tuned it. We're hoping now. Well, it's started.
Let's see what we can get.
First thing, we've just deleted the exhaust problems.
Yeah, the problems in the exhaust.
The problem is it now the car knows that it's got a better exhaust and no problem. So we're hoping now we get at least stock figures. Time for the second run. This time with a bass tune on the car. Very, very loud and scary. 675 horsepower this time. We're definitely going in the right direction. 675? 675 horsepower on the first run. Phil's got some more fine tuning to do. This is it now. How much power can we push out of this Urus? Results are in.
Oh, there we go.
What's it say? I can't read it. I ain't got my glasses.
707.
707 horsepower. 1,019
Newton meters.
Newton meters of torque.
I just took a bit out of the up and give it a bit up top to make it
Makes sense.
make 700 brake.
Well done, Phil. So there it is, 707 horsepower and over 1,000 Newton meters of torque. And on that note, I think it's about time Hannah saw the car. It's finally done-ish. From a Audi TT to now a Lamborghini Urus. One of one.
I don't think I can get any better than this.
It's a one of one as well.
This is like a true test of how well you know me.
You ready to see it? Here we go.
It's got my initials on it! I'm so happy.
Orange belts. I think she likes it.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Can I get in it?
Yeah, do you want to see your wheels?
I like the wheels. I've never had anything with my initials on before. My initials look rubbish compared to yours.
I think it looks quite good. Happy with it?
I'm very happy. Late now.
She then went out on the first drive to test out her new 700 horsepower daily. Oh my god! That nearly took off!
Mike, did you see that?
No, backward!
Oh my god!
It's alright, isn't it?
I really like it.
Well, I'm glad Hannah likes it, but thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Any wine gums? No wine gums.
No, there's one here, look.
You can't eat that, surely.
Stop, look.
Are you gonna eat it? Oh, I can't believe you ate that.
Like a drug that I just can't deny.